In this video, we will look at how you can publish the .NET API project into a local folder which is linked to an IAS manager so that you can run your API from a local IAS. So going back to the Visual Studio, what I have here is the .NET API code which we have developed in other videos. So in order to publish, right click on the project .NET demo and click on publish. So here you see multiple options that you can publish, from publishing into an Azure, putting into a Docker container registry, publishing it into an FTP server, a local IAS or an IAS server, or you can import publishing settings from your app services in Azure or any other service. So there is a local folder publish that you can configure. So in this example, I'm going to select folder. And before I go ahead and publish, I'll go into IAS and under sites, if I go into default sites, there's no other website here. So if I can go here and explore, so I'm in the C iNet pub folder. So I'll right click and create a new folder. I'll call it as .NET API folder publish. So if I can go back here and copy the path, and say copy, and then go back to Visual Studio. So here I'm selecting the folder. I say next, and it will ask you to specify the path where you want to publish. I'm copying the path which I just now created, and I'll say finish. So once you've configured, you have options to anytime go back and change the settings, whether the options of whether you want to delete the existing files every time you publish, what is the configuration you want to release, whether it's a release mode, debug mode, or any other custom mode that you want to use. And finally, with all these settings, I can click on publish. So once I publish, it will go through the steps of. It says I'm unable to copy, so it's because access is denied. So it is giving me permission with the folder. So let me quickly go here, say properties, and I'll basically remove the read-only access because we created in the security. And I'll, just to be on the safer side, I will just say everyone and give everyone right access for now. So now if I go here and do a publish again, it should ideally build. Yes, it is publishing. Now publish is successful. Now if I go back, you could see the .NET published folder with all the output DLLs, the app settings file, and the required config files. So now I have this ready. So to test it, I'll go back to iNet IAS manager. So if I just do a refresh, now there's a new folder called .NET API folder publish. Now this is a regular folder, so I'll right click and convert it to an application. I'll say I'll test my settings. Yes, authentication and access is there. So I'll go publish. So now here I have a .NET API which is linked to a local folder which I have published using Visual Studio. Now if I can go ahead and browse, you get 404 because there's no root API or a URL that we have configured where there's a default. So what I'll do is write and then say Swagger. That's the root Swagger. So here I have the default Swagger documentation. And other thing what I can also do is I can say API/demo name is equal to chai, and returned me hello chai. So I'm able to invoke the API, the logic which I've written from the IAS after I published um, the application into a local folder using Visual Studio.